Thank you all for coming this afternoon. We wanted to get you together and talk about the future of Montana State football. I had a meeting this morning with Rob Ash. I decided that Rob would step away as the head football coach at Montana State University. Just helping ask two questions.
What about
I thank him for all he's done for our program and appreciate all his accomplishments.
What about the rest of the staff?
The rest of the staff will be evaluated by the new coach when the new coach is on board.
What was your reason, Peter, to not, just after one losing season, to make this decision?
It was an evaluation of the total program.
What was your evaluation?
My evaluation was over the last 3 years.
What was your evaluation of the entire program?
Where we are on the football field, we're doing well in the classroom, where we are on the football field.
Did you feel momentum slipping after the 3 straight Big Sky titles that they won and then just kind of progressively downhill? Did you feel momentum slipping in the program?
I felt that the program wasn't maintaining the level of expectations of our fans and everybody associated with the program.
Talk about the timing of this decision. How long have you been thinking about this, and how tough was it watching this season unfold?
The season was hard for everybody. The season was hard for Rob. The season was hard for the coaching staff and the players. When you watch the players leave the field after a loss, you see the dejection in their face. So it's a process. It's not one piece. It's a process that happens continually, and I'm on record as saying that we evaluate continually.
How surprised are you to be standing up here today? I know Rob signed a contract extension in August and big expectations for this program. Is this a surprising thing for you?
We had high expectations for the year. Our expectations on the year were really well, were really high, and that's Rob too. That's not just me. That's everybody. And from the fan base to the student athletes to the students on campus to our alumni, that was everybody. So it's this season didn't unfold like we wanted it to.
Peter, will Rob stay on the staff?
No.
Did this hinge on Saturday, or is this something that's kind of been in the works for a while?
It's not in the works for a while, but the evaluation is the evaluation after Saturday could be completed.
What's the preferred timeline for finding a replacement?
We'll execute the search immediately. We'll start the search immediately, and we'll run it similar to what we did with basketball, as quickly and as expeditiously as possible. We want to get somebody on board. This is recruiting season, and so we want to get somebody on board to evaluate what we have, what we need, and we'll go forward from there.
Will the assistant coaches stay on board to help with recruiting at this stage?
The assistant coaches will stay on board through the evaluation of the new head person, whoever that is.
Is there an interim head coach?
No, but I've asked the Tim Cramsey be the point person for student athletes so that they have somebody to go to.
Do you think any of those guys will be considered when you're thinking about making?
I've told them that they can apply.
Talk about what you're looking for in the next coach.
Well, I think we have a lot of really good things here, and we need to have somebody that's a good fit with Montana State, that understands that we're a STEM university, that we have we're a land-grant in STEM, and that our academics are important, along with winning football games is important. It's all important. Community service is important, and we have to do it all. And we're a little different university in that regard. I believe in the Big Sky, we're the only top-tier Carnegie Research institution there is. So that brings some different qualifications to the table. So, we can't recruit like some other schools can. So you have to do a good job of recruiting and evaluating talent.
How did Rob take your conversation this morning?
Rob's a competitor. And so Rob is a good person. I mean, he's a competitor, and he is invested in what he does and believes in what he does.
Is head coaching experience a prerequisite for the next coach?
No.
Was Rob angry?
Rob was disappointed, as all of us would be. If somebody, if we were talking and you wanted to step in a different direction.
Did he have input? Did he try to argue with you at all?
We had a discussion, Ted, and I'll leave it at that.
Boosters, quarterback club members, did that have any influence on this decision?
No, we've heard from people. We've heard from different people. I don't believe I've heard from any of the quarterback club people, but I've heard from other people around the state and the nation. But it's all part of the evaluation of where the program sits.
4-14 against Montana and Eastern Washington, and Rob's tenure, did that play a factor in the decision?
It's part of the evaluation.
Do you think this is still an elite program that's going to attract top-tier candidates?
Absolutely.
Why do you say that?
Absolutely.
Why do you say that?
Because we have a great stadium. Our fans are tremendous. We have a great institution that supports it. Football's important here, and we will attract a quality candidate.
You said you've heard from some people through the fall. Have you heard from fans, and what was their reaction as the season was unfolding? I'm sure it was a mixed
I haven't responded. I don't respond to those.
You don't? Okay.
I take them and file them. I don't respond to them. That's not what you're supposed to do. That's not what you should do. It's not the conversation with the fans. It's a conversation between me and Rob.
Can you characterize Rob's overall tenure here and where the program is compared to when you arrived?
Yes, Rob's done a good job. Rob has done a good job of building a number of the facets of the program. Academically, we're in good shape. We do a lot of community service stuff. We have a better program, and that's what we're tasked with doing, is building programs. We all have supposed to make the program better.
Can you just explain his contract and kind of what you're on the hook for here? I know he signed that extension in August.
We're on the, regardless of the, and actually it wasn't so much an extension as it was rolling. And he had a 3-year rolling contract that we termed out. We made it into a term contract, and the language in the contract for the provision for the buyout provision didn't change, so it didn't matter. The contract duration at that point in time didn't matter. The buyout was the same, would have been the same under the old contract as the new contract.
So it'll expire in June, and that's still the remaining portion of his salary you'll have to pay, correct?
The terms of the contract are 1 year of salary.
So just the remaining of this year, okay. Internal issues amongst the staff and things like that, did that play any influence into this?
You know, there's rumors, but nobody has ever brought internal issues to me.
Can you just talk a little bit more about the timetable here? When would you like to have a guy in place? And you can talk about how important it is to get going.
Ideally, I'd like to have a guy in place in 10 to 14 days. That would be ideal.
Do you have anybody in mind?
I know a lot of football coaches that may be interested, and we will talk to them.
Are you looking for someone with ties to the university, ties to the area, or are you going to broaden this search?
I'm going to broaden the search. I'm going to go find and search for the person that I think is best with the criteria that I laid out about the institution. And that's one thing that I've seen over the past, is if the person doesn't fit the institution, they may be a really good coach, but it doesn't work well.
Players, were they taken into consideration in this decision?
Very much, and we will meet with them. Rob is meeting with them first, and then I will meet with them later this afternoon.
How do you hope they react to this?
I'm sure some of them are going to be upset and some of them are not going to be upset. And it's like the public. Some public people are going to be upset and some aren't going to be upset. And so we're going to move forward and do it as expeditiously and find somebody that will care for our student athletes and make sure that our student athletes are primary.
Second head coach that you've had to go through this with, so compare, contrast maybe. Was this a harder decision, an easier decision, or I guess what's this been like for you, just this decision-making process?
All decisions like this are hard. This is not an easy decision and you don't take it lightly. There's many, many people impacted. The tentacles go out. You have 10 assistant coaches that all have families. You have people that are associated with the program that have families. You have people internally this is a tremendous burden, and it's hard.
Is it hard for assistant coaches to go out not knowing who the next head coach is and tell recruits it's okay to still?
That's we've told I told the assistants when I met with them a little while ago that we would honor the recruits that have committed. We will honor their commitments. We have I believe it's eight commitments. We would honor those. So the assistant coaches will, and that'll be part of their evaluation actually, how they handle this. And if the new person comes in and finds out that the assistant was doing something underhandedly, then that may